Here's a great question. Why is there an Old and a New Testament? The Old Testament is a series of books, 39 books, that are written either in Hebrew or Aramaic. All of the books of the Old Testament speak of God, except for one of the books. The book of Esther never mentions the name or the word God at all in any way. All the other books talk about individuals' relationships as God encounters them in this world. The whole Bible, the New Testament and the Old Testament, are written by 44 different authors who pretty much never knew each other. A few may have met, but most of them never knew each other. There was no collaborative effort by human beings to put the Bible together. Rather, 44 individuals took the effort and the time to record their encounter with God in this world. And they did so that we might benefit from it. Historical accounts, prophetic accounts, wisdom literature, the movement of people who were immigrants who moved from one place to another, people that were broken and beaten down, people who were destroyed by war, people who had no home trying to find a home. Throughout the Bible, the Old Testament particularly, people are moving to an encounter with God, but normally with the encounter with a place and with other people. The New Testament is 29 books, and those books also were written by individuals who did not know each other. Now I recognize that the apostles, Matthew, Mark, John, may have known each other, but those books were written pretty much by individuals who were not the apostles. They were written by people who were the followers of those apostles. Now, the book of Luke was written by Luke, who was a physician. He also wrote the book of Acts, and the Acts is the only history book in the New Testament. Paul wrote a lot of the books, but they really were letters written to churches he had formed. Then you have the Johns, John 1, 2, and 3, and also the book of the Revelation of John, which are closely tied with the Gospel of John. And those books were written to encourage us about how to live a Christian life in this world. And the Revelation of John particularly, whenever you have no hope, how do you find hope? 44 authors who pretty much did not know each other, who recorded for us their encounter with God in this world. And we have an Old and a New Testament because we have the Jewish Bible written before the time of the Messiah. And then we have the New Testament that we Christians accept as being the books of the life at the times of the Messiah. You must also know there were many other books that were written that could have been in the Bible, and they weren't chosen. Come to the office sometime, I'll show you some of those books. You can read them for yourself. In the Roman Catholic Bible, there also are other books that are included called the Apocrypha, that the Protestants, of which the Methodists are a part of, we do not accept. But there are books called the Apocrypha that in the Roman Catholic Church, they accept as a part of their Bible. So the Bible is a faceted and a wonderful book that is nothing short of a miracle in coming to us. And so it's Old and New Testament because different people at different times of revelation came to understand who God was for them and recorded that we might be the beneficiaries today. So that's a good question.